Hey guys, Tank here. We're live, and sorry for the little delay. We're a couple minutes late. We had some issues setting up, but everything is fine now. And I have Ricky here from Asiatees.
Good morning, everyone, or good evening to everyone. I'm Ricky, here from Asiatees. All right, nice to meet you all. Right, just to let you know about a little bit about myself. I've always been a big fan of RC cars and planes, boats, anything radio control. But at the minute, I'm more into my crawlers and scale stuff and stuff like that. And the way I started in Asiatees is basically I was a member of a drift club in Hong Kong here, and basically there's a lot of drifters there, and basically we're one of the sponsors for this drift club as well. And Jason come up one day and we got chatting, and both basically got along really well. And I thought I needed a job as well at the time, so then he gave me a chance working at Asiatees, and I've been here ever since. So I've been here for about nearly a year and a half, 2 years now, and it's going pretty well.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did you get a job at Asiatees? I know you just mentioned that you saw Jason. Well, yeah, it's Jason. I think you saw at the track, and he invited you to come and work at Asiatees.
Basically, the track is sponsored by Asiatees.
Okay.
It's called Creeper. It's basically like a drift track for people to go there and play. And Jason come up one day, and basically I'm like just playing there, and then he come up to me and start chatting to me. And then at the time he knew that I was looking for a job as well, and so he just thought he'd give me a chance, and that's how I basically ended up working in Asiatees.
And what do you do at Asiatees?
Well, basically, my position is a little bit funny because I do a bit of a lot of different sort of things in Asiatees. Like I write blogs, I do a bit of social media, I do basically help with the design work, I help with basically if there's problems with products, I try to solve the problems, and like basically come up with new ideas, new innovations for different products and things like that. So a bit of everything sort of thing mixed in.
It must be. And how long have you been there?
I've been here for about nearly a year and a half, 2 years now.
Okay, that must be special working with all those people there. It's Asiatees is getting way bigger than it used to be. I know from a couple of years back when I started surfing the web and looking at some of the stuff you guys have for sale.
Yeah, they are definitely getting bigger, and we are trying to expand like the ranges as well. So we have different products or from different manufacturers,
Cool.
And try to also bring in new products that are different. Yeah.
And one question I was wondering, what's the biggest difference between Asiatees and Boom Racing? Tell me a little bit about both companies.
Well, basically, Asiatees is a company where a lot of different manufacturers, basically, we sell a lot of different manufacturers' products. So basically, you get Axial, you get ProLine, you get Protoform, you get also your Pandora. So you've got all sorts of different manufacturers that we sell, like that we distribute for on Asiatees platform. And Boom Racing is their own products mainly. So basically stuff we design ourselves, well, not ourselves, but literally that's stuff that's produced in-house basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a bit different because on Boom Racing you don't really see like different manufacturer stuff like the new car that's come out, like the King Kong and things like that. You won't be able to buy that through Boom Racing. You have to go through Asiatees because obviously Asiatees is the main platform for to purchase all these different manufacturers' products.
Cool. And I got another question for you. In your mind, where is the biggest growth in the radio industry? Bashing, crawling, scaling, or even FPV? Where do you see things going from Asiatees' standpoint?
Well, from what I see in the market in a minute and everything, and how the growth is, it's going more towards the scale side. A lot of manufacturers are producing scale products now, and people are building more and more scale rigs nowadays compared to back in the days where everything's just big wheels, get over every obstacle that you can. But now it's more like shrinking things down a little bit, making it a lot more scale looking, and still having that challenge to get over obstacles and try to get over a lot of different obstacles and make it look like it's still a real vehicle instead of you can see it's just a radio control car.
Yeah.
So the thing is to keep it as realistic and to the real one-to-one scale stuff.
Yeah, and I find there's a lot of guys out there that are very handy and very crafty with their hands, and they really make new stuff like not out of thin airs, but whatever they have at home, and they make it look scale and they make it look smaller. It's really cool what people are coming up with.
Yeah, I do see as well a lot like people nowadays, they like to build their own stuff. They like to create their own stuff. They like to build instead of just buy a product, bolt it on, and then that's it. So it's a lot more DIY stuff nowadays than there's obviously just bolt on and go sort of thing. And also there's also nowadays there's 3D as well, so 3D printing. So people tend to print their own stuff nowadays as well. So it opens a wider range for scale accessories, all sorts of little things that you can print out, even if you just print it out and it's just to put inside a vehicle or something. It's opened the market up right for basically the scale side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just crazy with the 3D printed and all that. It's people are printing their own parts now. The other day, Tony from CCXRC printed his own carrier for the front of his Tamiya truck because it's broke. So that was really neat. So there's neat things that people are doing.
And also if they break and you can see where it's broken, you can in the 3D printing process, you can also improve it as well, make it stronger and see what else you can change about it. So it's opened a whole new ball game of plastic parts, basically, you can say.
Yeah, but it doesn't help you guys in the industry of selling parts, though.
Not so much as much, but the thing is, it's helping us towards scaling into going in towards the scale side, obviously, because people make their own little scale products and all sorts of little detailed parts. And we do actually sell a lot of scale stuff as well. So if you look at the new D110s that we do, D90s, I mean, they are going scale direction. Same with the LC70s. If you've probably seen, I've just wrote a blog about an LC70, how to build shall I say, it's not 100% scale, but we want to keep it, the look of it still scale, but we still want performance out of it in the end of the day. So the suspension is set up not like an original car would be, but obviously you still want a bit of performance out of it. So if I start some leaf springs on it and stuff like that, yeah, it will make it more scale, but the performance will go down a little bit. So I incorporate a bit of both. So you've got the look of a scale, but still performance.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing.
Another quick question. I got 2 more questions, and then we can send the link to people to actually join in. I like keeping you all to myself and that no other people can bug us and all that. So I'm being a hog. How is Asiatees planning to better service and deliver to the American market? And
Well,
American
we are
includes
trying to
Canada.
expand. Yeah, we are actually trying to expand in the American market a little bit as well. I mean, we have a warehouse over there. We're trying to stock up with more products over there, but shipping and everything is it's a little bit difficult sometimes, and cost as well. So if you've got small amounts and ship over there, it's just the cost of it. So obviously we have to accumulate a bigger amounts to ship over there. So we're trying to keep the stock up to date and up, like keep the level up, but obviously it's trying to get the stock over there as well. And basically we try to keep the postage cost like low as
Yes.
possible. I mean, we do understand postage cost is a lot, but people got to understand postage is not something that we control at Asiatees. It's literally the postal services. So, I mean, we don't make anything from the postage side. So a lot of people are saying that we are charging too much postage and everything,
Well,
but
it's just like me. I ordered a trailer worth well, close to $200, and I ended up paying $100 for shipping, which is wow, that's half the price of the truck. So
it is.
it's still
That's
cheaper
what
for
the
me.
main reasons why I'm trying to just get the product over into America. So basically, we don't have some products from Hong Kong. So we'll try and keep the cost down, but get the quantity over there.
Yeah.
Once it's obviously already over there, it'd be a lot cheaper to ship out to other everywhere in America, and we'll be shipping it from
My last question. You did talk about Asiatees and boom racing and how they're different, and boom racing is more manufacturing and coming out with scale parts and all that. This year, how is boom racing helping out in the scale industry with the new product? In other words, what's coming out this year that you can tell us?
Well, as probably a lot of people already know, we do some D110s and D90s and the LC70s. We are actually trying to produce more parts and innovative parts for the actual LC70 and also the D110s and D90s. I mean, you've probably seen with the D90, we've just come out with a high clearance skid plate, just to give it a bit more ground clearance so you can get over obstacles a bit better. And yeah, try to basically have scale, but also performance in mind, because nobody wants a rig that it looks really great and then it doesn't do, like it can't get over obstacles. So we try to innovate by making products that help out, like basically still make it look scale, but also have the performance with it.
And you got a new dry shaft also that you guys just came out. I saw a post.
I mean, this is our new dry shaft. So I'll show you. It's actually quite a nice dry shaft. I mean, a lot of people will see this and think, oh, it's just like a voodoo. I mean, it looks like a voodoo, but it's not actually a voodoo shaft. It is a lot thicker than a voodoo shaft, and the material is a lot stronger. And if I show you, it's got like key system as well in the actual, like before we had a lot of people say, oh, the little red ring is really hard to align the center hole for the pin when you put it into the actual output shafts or anything. I mean, now they have a key system, and you don't use the red piece to screw the pin screw in. So literally, it screws into the actual metal piece here.
Okay.
So it already makes it a lot stronger. And the material used for this is also a lot stronger. We have tested this, and it's a lot harder than your original material that you usually see. And they will be available in all sorts of different sizes, but obviously it's getting the manufacturers to produce it all in time for us. Not the manufacturers, but the actual CNC side. But they are a lot tougher than your average voodoo shafts.
And right now you only have one size of those shaft, and
At the minute we have one size, but we are pushing forward with pretty much every single size in the range that you can get. And you can see that these have a lot more trouble in the actual shaft.
Okay.
Yeah. The actual shaft inside, like the piece that you put inside, is a lot longer.
Yep.
So if you have a lot more like range to move the actual shaft in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. I sent a bunch of message to a bunch of people. I also posted on my Facebook page and also on Google Plus for people that wants to join in. Now's the time you can join into here. And I see that Kagan is actually here already.
Evening, Tank. Evening, Ricky.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Evening. Yeah, not bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
Oh, just wait, Kagan. I shut off your mic and I forgot to turn it back on. Go ahead, say hi now.
I'm well, thank you. Good evening.
No, I heard him. Good evening. How you doing?
Okay.
Yeah, and also with the key system that you see on the actual end here, this red piece locks into place without it falling off.
Oh,
and
really?
also to keep it more scale, we've added actual screws on here instead of just a hole drilled through it. So it looks more like it's actually a proper I don't even know what they're called, but yeah, they look more scale to your stock voodoo shafts. And when if you do actually get one yourself and you feel the actual metal of the product, it's a lot nicer. It's a lot tougher. The tolerance in it is a lot smaller. That's another thing that we've been working on to keep the tolerance.
I know you listed it on your website, but I didn't notice if you've got the weight of the dry shaft.
No, I haven't actually got the weight for it at the minute. I mean, I will put that in with the description.
Yeah, because it's very important for us because for weight down low, and the dry shaft really is going to help and add weight to the bottom of the truck.
This is definitely heavier than the voodoo shaft, so it will give you low down weight. But I will later on, I didn't even know they turned it on, to be honest, yesterday, because literally this literally turned on yesterday, and I literally just put it together quickly and let them take a picture of it. I mean, that's another thing I do at Asiatees. I put all the rigs together and try to get everything presentable for people to look at. And also, I did see a mistake that I've made though, that I will correct, I must admit. I didn't put it in phase.
Yeah, so your dry shaft are balanced and are, in other words, in phase if we line up together. And did you put a knot?
Yes, they are in phase.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just I've accidentally, when I put it in, I've turned it a little bit, and then obviously it's out phase. But they are in phase, so you can get a decent, the equal amount of angle in both sides, so you don't get the hopping off the actual rig.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. Also, we obviously we are trying to keep the tolerance of these shafts to the minimum, because we know that obviously if the tolerance is quite big on these, you get a lot of wheel play. So the smaller the tolerance, the better. Yeah, the better the actual creeping, as I say. So if you're going uphill and then downhill, you don't get the sudden little roll at the end. So the more you can reduce the tolerances, the better the crawl is, I think. Yeah.
And
So
we got some people in the chat room. Grant's RC is saying good evening, everyone. So there's a guy there. Mike Gala says he's got a King Kong C810 from Asiatees and he loves it.
yes, yeah, I played with it the other day, and it was quite fun. It's different from your average crawler out there, I should say, but it's definitely.
That's the one that looks like an old truck and it's only rear-wheel drive, right?
Yes, that's the one that looks like an old truck.
It's a nice. It is a very nice truck.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, this is the King Kong that we do. Basically, it's an old truck. It's actually quite...
towel out.
Pardon?
I've got my drool towel out. I'm drooling over it.
You're drooling over the truck.
Yeah, I mean, it is a cool rig. It is only 2-wheel drive, so it's not your like average crawler, but it's more like a scale rig. That's what I'm saying, that the industry is moving more towards a scale direction at the minute. Just to make scale rigs. I mean, it's 2-wheel drive. It's got open rear diff. So if you want more performance out of it, I would definitely suggest you to lock the rear diffs on them. So, but they are great little fun kits to build. And the stuff that you get inside them, I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail of that. I mean, they have a lot of, I mean, even the screws are like really small little, what are called? They're like nuts instead of, I mean, not your normal hex screws. So they are trying to keep things more scale looking. And the bed is actually, the side of the bed is actually wooden, and they use more natural materials in the actual build of this vehicle to keep it more scale looking as well. So it's a great product, and it's not too expensive, I must admit. They are quite nice little kits to build.
And Troy Whitenko is from the east of Canada. He's saying hi, and he is trying to log on. So I sent him the link. Hopefully he'll get in soon.
Yeah.
Dave from Radio Control Petrol is saying hi. Breaking Silence is saying hello to everyone. And Midlife RC is saying hi, Frank and the crew.
All right.
Oh, CCXRC is there. I might as well go through the list also.
Yeah.
Steve Declark is saying, what's up?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, Steve Declark says that RC Spark did actually the CA10 build, and he did a good job.
I mean, check out his channel. I mean, he does a great job of presenting this truck and talking about this truck and how he went about in building it. And I mean, he done a more like sort of a old classic rustic look sort of thing, and it looks really great. I mean, the methods that he used is quite good, because it shows you that you can use all sorts of different ways to like make it more weathered. And I mean, it's a great way for people to see that anything is possible. You don't have to always use 100% like proper chemicals to get the effects. I think he used like charcoal or something like that to get the weathering effect on his rear bed and things like that. So it's just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, true. And you guys have another little product that I like a lot. It's this guy.
Yes, the Hustler.
The Hustler tire.
Yes, it's a great tire. I mean, I use them in all my rigs at the minute. These are all my personal rigs. I mean, I have a D110 that I have running the Hustlers as well. So it is one of my favorite builds so far at the minute. I mean, it's scale looking. Just fell off. I mean, the steering wheel, but it's fine. I'll put that back on. I mean, it's that scale looking, but I still wanted performance, so I went with a bit of a rougher tire. So I mean, it's a little bit more, what should I say, aggressive looking. So you can still crawl over a lot of things. I mean, this I won't take the body off, but with this one, I have a lot of parts on there. Some of them aren't released yet. They are still getting manufactured as we speak. So I won't open it just yet because I don't want to spoil everyone's.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yes, I mean, you've probably seen the new truss that we have just come out with, the high clearance truss for the D110s, like the Gekko axles. I mean, they're a great way to get more clearance because a lot of people had problems with it hitting the spur gear under here, like the upper link. So with this lower truss, it helps the spur gear stay away from, like, gives you more clearance, so you can have basically lower your rig a bit more. So that's another way to improve a scale looking, because usually they are sitting quite high up when you first get them out of the box. So obviously to allow you to tune a bit more and everything to get the rig lowered as much as you can. It's a great way of doing it with the high clearance truss. And they are also CNC, so they're not a cast metal. So they're obviously a lot stronger than your cast material, because we do try to take people's input and improve on them, because obviously we know that some people have been having issues with the truss, the cast truss, but we are improving on them, and they are turning into CNC, because obviously CNC has a lot more strength than cast stuff. This is not as brittle.
Yeah, one of my friend did get a D90 from you guys, and one of his problem is there's a loose in the transmission and front wheel, rear wheel, and so on. So when you start turning, you can turn the wheel a little bit before it actually engage where the transmission is. Is there something you guys are working to fix that, or because I know
well, that is basically, as I say, that's the tolerances between all the drive shafts, and you got. Basically, I have shimmed mine as much as I can. Basically, you can put shims at the end of here, like where it meets the actual outputs. And the less play you get in these, the less of that you get throughout the whole drive system. Because I did notice that problem as well, because obviously the more play you have in the actual drive shafts and all your outputs and inputs, it causes basically a bit of wheel like play in the actual when it rolls. But I try to keep, like with my one, I've actually shimmed all the little like bits where it actually meets the output shafts. So I bought some 5mm shims, and I basically packed it out. And then also with these new these new badass drive shafts, they don't, like with the previous Voodoo ones, it didn't lock down to the actual output shafts. So when you put the grub screw in, you know, when you screw the little grub screw ins, it didn't actually go through the whole thing and basically lock it down onto the actual output shafts. This now locks directly down onto the output shafts. So basically, when you put the actual pin in and screw it down, it will screw all the way through if it doesn't have anything there to stop it. So literally lock it in place.
Because I know my TF2 is the same way. It does have some loose into it, but I've learned to live with it, and I haven't shimmed anything. It's just the way it is. It is the 3-speed, 2-speed transmission that I have on there, so I just learned to live with it. But my SCX10 or my Cross Canyon here, Jeep Cross Canyon, that one is nice and tight, and I even got last lockers in the back and rear. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand with manufacturing metal parts to plastic, like also, a lot of people think, oh, plastic is better. I mean, yeah, they're good, because with plastic, you can make the manufacturing, the tolerance a little bit smaller, and you can still push it on to the output shafts and everything. But as soon as you do metal on metal, it doesn't give anywhere. So that you can't manufacture this to 100% tolerance. If you manufacture this to 100% tolerance, obviously not everybody's tolerance is exactly 5mm on the output shafts and input shafts. So obviously you have to have a little bit of tolerance for people to still be able to put this onto all sorts of different rigs. So that's another thing, because obviously if this is too big, then obviously you get a lot of play. If it's too small, you won't be able to get it on. So it's working with like loads of different rigs and trying to keep the tolerance as low as you can. That's why we come up with the grab screws that actually locks down onto the actual output shafts, instead of it just being put in and tightened onto the little red ring that probably everyone, a lot of people know, because the voodoo shaft just locks onto the red ring, and this little pin doesn't go all the way through. So you get a lot of play in it. So this is an improvement of the new drive shafts. Yeah, badass drive shafts. So it's definitely helps the tolerance, because obviously in the D110s and D90s, they still run the voodoo shafts. So basically they have a bit more tolerant, like there's a little bit more play in them than these have. But these are going to be an upgrade part that you can purchase for any of your vehicles. We are trying to come out with sets for all the different types of vehicles that are out there on the market. But obviously we are trying to get all the sizes done first before we can actually get sets out to people.
Cool.
Well, if you have a long one, you could always cut it down possibly and make it work for a vehicle.
Yes, you can do that, but I mean, we are trying to keep like making so the first 3 different sizes that we will do. I think I got one actually mounted on a TRX4. I'll show you. Just move this way. I mean, if you look at in here, I've just mounted one. I mean, this one here, this is a shorter one.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do a shorter one and a longer one. I mean, with the TRX4 one, the issue that we have at the minute with the TRX4, because where the output shaft comes out the gearbox, it's really, really close to the actual the gearbox.
Okay.
So basically, you can still remove the red ring, the little red ring, and you can still fit the drive shafts on and screw the grub screw on.
Okay.
So with the old Voodoos, if you remove the red ring, you've got nowhere to screw into.
Gotcha.
It doesn't lock it down. But this new system allows you to do that. We will be having a little replacement ring for this as well. That's in the manufacture. That's just for testing. I'll show you this one.
Yep.
I've just literally put the new drive shafts in.
Cool. We have Midlife RC that asked a question. His question is, he bought a D90 kit without the shocks and wheel. So yes. What do you recommend for shocks and wheels for a trail type truck?
Well, it depends how you really set it up, but I would probably, with the wheels, I mean, I really like the Huskers on it, the 4.19s. I mean, I've changed the arches on my one. I've not used the original arches. I've made the arches a little bit bigger, so obviously, so your tire has a little bit more clearance. But I really like the setup on this one because it's still got like up travel, down travel. I'm still using the original shocks, but what I've done is basically we are coming out with new shock hoops as well. And the new shock hoops are a little bit taller, so it allows you to still use the original shocks, but basically lower your rig down, so it doesn't sit too high. But if you don't have that part, I mean, we are launching that part very soon. I think that's coming out soon. And basically, it raises the shock tower, so basically you can have a longer suspension in it. But at the minute, if you've got the stock system, I would recommend an 80mm shock just to drop it down and have it a little bit lower. And tires, it's a choice either the Hustler. I mean, we also did a new scale tire. I mean, this is the Road Tracker. That's another little cool tire. If you want to make a really scale-looking tire rig, I mean, if you can see it, take it out of the package.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a little bit better, maybe. I'll check the website.
Yeah, if you can get a better picture of them.
Yeah, what's the part number?
The part number is BRTR. Let's see it.
A little higher, Ricky. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking. I'm trying to type. So.
Yeah.
PR 15501.
15501. Okay.
Yes.
155.
Hi, Ricky. I finally got on.
Yeah, I did.
I'm suffering from a snowstorm outside right now, a 3-foot snowdrift outside, so must be better at your place.
See, I haven't seen snow for a while. I like the snow.
It's finally melting off here.
How is it? Yeah, I mean, it's actually cool. I mean, these are actually really well-performing tires. I've got these actually built onto the LC70 that I done a little while ago. I don't know if you've seen the blog, but I've wrote a blog how I built the LC70 from an MST. Yeah,
do those fit on the narrow wheel, or is that the normal beadlock?
No, it's just a normal size. I mean, we try to keep it like not too narrow and skinny, because some people like to have a little bit of a chunkier tire.
I like the look of it. It's a nice scale-looking tire.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually really nice, and the performance it's really, really good. I mean, I thought on some places that I couldn't get up onto, and it just went up it straight away. I was like, wow, these tires really do good. This one
does not have the two type of foam. It's just have one type of foam.
No, it's just a single stage, but it's quite a tough, like it's quite a solid foam. It's not your really soft foams.
Ricky, how is the tread pattern for throwing the dirt out after you've gone through some mud or something?
To throw out the dirt, it's, as I say, because obviously this has got quite a close and small tread pattern. So it also depends what the mud is like. If it's like quite a watery mud and that, it will throw it out no problem. But if you've got a really thick clay sort of mud, I mean, it does struggle to throw it out. I mean, a lot of tires struggle with thick clay sort of mud. So
yeah, super swampers get coated in clay.
Yeah, I mean, clay is a tire killer, I should say.
Are they directional?
They aren't directional, no. So you can mount these both ways.
Nice.
So,
what's the sticker price on them?
I don't actually know the price of them, and I can't check on the website. You got the price?
Price is for me $33 Canadian for those tires.
For two.
If you're talking still about the same tires.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 Canadian.
For two of them.
Two of them, yeah. Real quick, somebody's asking how does he get on RC Talk Live with us. I put a link there to go to my Google Plus page. I do have it posted on my Google Plus page and also on my Facebook, the Tank RC.
Ricky, in honor of you joining us tonight, I actually put a Asiatees sticker on the back of my truck.
Awesome. Yeah. Looking good.
I'm looking for more scale tires right now because I'm liking the look of these smaller tires. Those ones we're looking at, are they 155s?
Actually, let me get a tape measure and I'll get it measured for you. 2 seconds.
Yeah, for you to make that a class 1, you need to go smaller, well, 4.15.
They are 3.46 by 0.4 inch.
Nice. And rim
So,
size?
Rim size, they are actually 155s.
Right on.
Yeah, so they are actually a really nice small scale looking tire. I mean, if you look at the comparison on the LC70, they actually fit in it like perfectly. They are really nice scale looking. I did use the wrong wheels though, I must admit, but that's what I had at the time. I know they are supposed to be 5 lugs instead of 6 lugs.
I was looking on your on Asiatees today, and I just fell in love with the LC70 interior. With
yes, the interior is incredible on that. It's actually it's something. It's totally changed the scale game for like RC bodies, I should say.
Well, I did a complete scale build for mine, floor right down to the rails of the frame.
Yeah.
And it took me days and days because I was just trying to get every little thing just perfect. And looking at a whole bunch of pictures online, trying to find like an 84 interior from every angle of a Toyota. It was like, oh man, this is nuts. But
yeah.
And now like for $100 and some odd, I could just buy it for the LC70. I'm like, oh yes, if I get the LC70, I'm buying that interior so I don't have to do it.
I mean, I think the LC70, like with the dash lights and everything, it looks really great.
You don't sell it
with the dash lights
with the wipers and the steering module. Those are
they are actually a separate kit. Like Killer Body have a tendency to bring out things like in separate pieces, like separate kits, like your doors that you buy from. Like it was my one, but my one's a little bit rough and like it's been through the tours. But I'm running Hustlers and these as well. And that's
running the interior.
No, this one I'm not running interior. Jason actually took the one out at the minute. He's in America. He's actually out at Parkerfest.
Well, it's a very sweet looking interior. I love it.
Yeah, the interior is incredible. I mean, the dashboard that you can get, that comes with the interior, you get 2 pieces, a left and a right.
Yeah.
And basically, I've actually converted one into a D110. So I managed to, I managed to fit one into a D110. Actually, this is my own personal rig, just to see what I needed to do. I don't know if I can turn it on and light it up. Just trying to get this plugged in. Yeah, I mean, 2 seconds. Let me just grab the controller for my rig so I can turn it on for you and show you the lights on everything.
Cool.
Nice.
Maybe we can have a sneak peek at what the stuff he doesn't want us to see. We'll pause the video.
Yeah, exactly. How you doing tonight, Keegan?
Good. Yourself?
Not too bad.
Sorry about all the snow.
Oh.
A couple weeks ago, I got snowed in. But only 19 or 20 inches, not 3 feet.
That's still enough.
Yeah.
It's March, man. I don't want to see any more snow drifts.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, got to set up my controller first. I mean, that's what I mean by a lot of people are creating different things and innovating different products of ours. I mean, we're going to try and contact them and see if we can actually purchase the dash by itself. So people can do their own little dashboard conversions. Sorry, just trying to set up the controller. Yeah, right one. All right.
Evening, gentlemen. Evening, Greg.
Right, so basically, just open them up.
Yeah, I'll put you on presenter. There's a lot of people here now, so here we
I
go.
don't have any lights in there at the minute, but
Oh,
Ah,
that's
yeah.
beautiful.
Just lit up.
Yep. That's crazy.
Look at that. Oh, come on.
Does it like show a door ajar by chance?
a what?
Like in a real car, how it says the door's ajar, doors open.
No, that one doesn't.
Either, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not a door. It's not a jar. It's a door.
Hey,
So,
buddy.
little thing. I've had it so it's set up obviously with all my lights and everything. So you obviously, you know, when you turn your keys and your ignition, you get your first stage where you literally your dash lights come on, but no other lights turn on the car. And I actually did that with a OB1 3.1 system, because you can set up different stages of how you want the lights turning on.
With that system, can you make it so that the dome light stays on? Because I had a car, I had to take the light bulb actually out because we couldn't switch from.
Well, the way that this one works basically is you get 3 different stages. So stage 1 turns on like 1 set of lights, stage 2 turns on 2nd set, and it stays on, the 2 sets stay on, and then obviously you get your 3rd set. So how I done first stage is your dash lights, 2nd stage is your side lights, and then 3rd stage is your roof lights. I've got another kit in here that I've done a slight modification. I've put a GT Power headlight system in here as well. And basically, I have really, really bright headlights in this system. So just by a flick of the switch, I've got like stupid bright lights.
High beam and low beam. Great.
Yeah, basically.
nice.
But it's just trying to keep things a little bit different.
And you sell that lighting system on Asiatees?
We got the 3.1 in at the minute. The GT Power, the headlights that I'm using, we are trying to get them in as well. So just to show you, I mean, if you look at my headlights,
I've used those before. They're nice.
don't know if you can see, but it's literally the same size as the actual headlight.
Okay.
That fits in there perfectly. And
So are those signal lights, are those 2mm or 3mm?
3.
yeah. And
Are those lights
There's
3
3 and 5
millimeter or 5
millimeter, I
millimeter?
believe, lights.
What size
They
are the
are-
diameters?
it's actually it's not an LED. It's not an LED.
They're
I'll show
amber
you.
lights, right?
Oh, they're
The
incandescent.
amber one. Let me see. Trying to maneuver this rig around is a little bit tricky. It's quite big.
Especially while it's still plugged in.
Yeah, it is still plugged in, so it's actually still hanging on to wires. So if you see, oops, I'm going to move that one.
All right.
You okay over there?
I can see the
So
back.
they got they even have a ballast on the back.
Okay.
They actually, this is the actually quite a big light unit.
I guess, yeah, they are big.
So with a ballast, is it a fluorescent bulb?
They are actually white bulbs.
Okay.
How
It's
hot?
not your normal conventional 5mm LED lights. That's
Now,
why
is
they're
that-
so bright.
Is that something you sell at Asiatees or something you just put together?
We will be bringing these in. We are bringing these in. They are really, really great products.
Cool.
They will be available very soon. And
And they work on 6 volts, I guess, or what? Do they work on higher voltage?
it works on, no, these are on 7.4. So you can put it on a little, you can either run them on 7.4, and then obviously that plugs directly into your LiPo. And then you have it's got a normal JST plug, and that goes directly into your receiver. That allows you to turn your headlights on and off by a switch, like on your controller. So I just press my button, and then it turns my headlights on and off.
Cool.
That's quite ingenious how they've done that. And also with this rig, I'm also running a sound system as well. And you wouldn't think that you have that many things to put into a rig.
There's a lot of stuff you can put. Which sound system did you put in there? The ESS or your own?
And no, I didn't actually use an ESS one. The one that I'm using is an OB1 out of one of the 135 scales.
Okay.
It's a really, really tiny system. I mean, it's not the loudest one in the world, but it's
okay. I find them too loud.
So.
That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
It is a still truck, so theoretically it should be 10 times quieter than a real truck.
Yes. Sounds like you need to check
It's not sounding too good over here.
It's got a really small footprint for the actual site. Like it's going to be able to fit into the actual car. Because if you use a Sense Hobby one, they are too big. There is no room in the rig to put the actual sound system in.
Okay.
So I just use something small, little. I mean, it's not the loudest thing in the world, but it just gives it that little bit of extra scaleness to it. So it's got a little bit of sound when it's like sitting there, when you're like just out and about. And it's not too overpowering and overdroning, because I do hear some people like go out and turn the sound system right up, and it's like it's louder than the actual, like it's not to scale. I think this is more toned down, I find, and it's not so it doesn't disturb anybody else in the area.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I have a question for you, and it's regarding these tires.
Yep.
You did mention that they are directional.
Yes.
Now, I know that for a fact because this from here, this one goes under and this one goes on top of it. How is it directional? Which way are they supposed to go? Because there's no arrows on them to tell you where to go.
Yes. Well, if I show you on, let me just pick up a lighter rig because this rig is quite heavy. Sorry, too much stuff on the desk. Like, if you look at these tires here now, if you can see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the front of the truck. Like, this direction is the front of the truck.
Yeah.
So basically, you see this little paddle, I would say.
Hold it up higher. We're looking at your wheel well.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah. So this is the bit that sticks up, the back one. So you see an X here. The one that's at the back is the higher up one. This one.
Yeah.
So basically, this is how it faces the front. So it works basically like a scoop. So if you work like on sand or something, instead of like a lot of tires dig yourself in, this one basically tries to scoop you out of the actual sand.
Okay.
So it's got more of a side.
So basically, if I hold my tire, I don't know if you guys are going to see this a little bit better, but let me get into the light. So yeah, it's got to go this way. So in other words, this one that goes on top of it, my wheel turns that way. So it actually scoops the sand here. So it actually turns this way because this one is on top. This one's on top, so it actually goes behind. So it turns this way.
I think you got it.
Yeah, so the tire is actually going to turn this way. So this little thing acts like a scoop. It's just going to grab the dirt.
Yes, that's a great way of saying it. Basically, it works like a scoop, but it tries to like dig yourself out of the sand and everything. I mean, I've had these rigs on sand, and the tires, they perform great. I mean, the way that they dig you out. I mean, I've had this thing. I pushed it into the sand with the wheels spinning and everything, so it's actually buried. And then literally, I let go of the rig, and I've literally just gave her a bit of throttle, and literally just see the truck rise up and just go.
The one that is actually on top is the one that is not cut. So the one that actually is on the bottom has actually a cut into the tire, which lets the sand hits this one here. So that's why there's a cut on this one. So when it turns, it grabs that one.
So unlike other tires, when you're going through the dirt and the sand, when you get your rig buried, you see them like they're going forward and they just dig a hole and they sink. But then as soon as they back up, they kind of dig their way out. This is doing it the opposite way. So going forward, you'll ride up.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these I was really shocked how well they performed on the sand. I mean, they do try to like dig it out, and they throw the dirt out quite a lot as well. So literally, the mud doesn't stick to like the tire as much. It clears the mud out quite quick, and that's from one of the previous questions that I had from the other tire from this one that I showed you. I mean, this one, it's the pattern is really close, so obviously mud will stick to these more than if they would on a Hustler, because obviously it doesn't throw it out as fast. But they are both great tires.
Yeah, RCVHX22 is asking if those lights are actually waterproof, the one that you have in your buckets.
What, the 3.1 system?
Well, the lights you were showing on your truck there, the one that are not LEDs, are those waterproof?
The LEDs, I mean, obviously they're not waterproof, but you can waterproof them. And then with the light, the actual light unit, the actual unit itself, we are actually talking to the manufacturers as well to get them to actually produce a waterproof version as well.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But the problem with that he's having is basically because the OB1 system uses a lot of plugs, like light plugs that you plug into the actual board, trying to get all of them waterproof. So that is the hard part about it. But they are trying to work with us and trying to produce a waterproof system for it.
Electrocoating for all your electronics needs.
That works too. That works as well.
I got one question about your manufacturers. You yeah, about all the different bodies and stuff like that you have. I love the hard bodies, and for me, it's hard body or no body. But if I lined up all the different hard bodies out there, I'd have a great big shelf with Discoveries and Land Rovers and stuff like that, and not too many North American hard bodies. So what kind of influence can you put on your manufacturers to put out a North American body for us?
I mean, you can give me some ideas what sort of bodies you would like in the North American market. I mean, we did
Ford.
Yeah, there you go. Like the Ford Ranger. Like we got like
yeah, good call.
The Ford,
There's a new Ranger coming out.
Did the Toyotas to death, and
MG.
And yeah, but right now everybody I see that's going out and actually using their vehicles, well, nobody can get these 84 Toyota bodies around here, so they're using what we can get their hands on. It's old Ford Rangers. And I would love to have a Ford Ranger body for another rig, but you know, I don't want to scratch build it.
Yeah, Midlife RC saying a Ranger 1984 Ranger.
There you go.
XLT.
We have talked about getting
You have what? Sorry. Ricky, you're cutting up really bad there. Just a sec. Your internet trying to catch up. You're cutting out really bad. Okay, try that again. I think you're frozen right now. No.
Yeah, we are trying to produce like more bodies for people to be able to enjoy and everything. I mean, obviously, it's hard to produce bodies. We're trying to talk to manufacturers as well. And not always follow the out there in the market. Be a little bit
I'm sorry, Rick.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Your audio is fading down as you're talking. We can barely hear you.
Yeah. Basically, we are talking to manufacturers and to. Can you hear me a bit better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Basically, we are talking to manufacturers trying to get more different types of bodies produced. But talking to manufacturers having different types of bodies, it's just that we have a lot of 3D companies nowadays as well that print the 3D bodies, and basically they are quite, and as a manufacturer side, creating one of these bodies is not cheap because obviously you have to keep up the game with everybody else that is basically working. I mean, the LC70 is just a very difficult game because it's got moving windows, it's got bonnet, it's got full light up here, it needs to move in it, but then the cubby hole with so many different things. I mean, even column is adjustable. You can adjust it in and out, up and down. You can move forward, backwards.
Yeah, Ricky, the audio is really bad. I'm really straining to hear what you're saying. Sorry.
Sorry,
no problem.
Signal's really bad over here.
No, it's probably the internet, or it is Hong Kong to Canada to the rest of the world. So it must be something weird with the internet right now. But there's a lot of checks and there's a lot of comments on the side of the video that you'll be able to go back and actually check and see. There's like Dakota Sport 95. There's the Silverado, Chevy Silverado. There's a bunch of different ones. Even somebody wants it red. Like he doesn't want to paint it. He says he wants it red. So, but I know there's licensing fee for all that, for all the manufacturers that actually do a direct copy. So it must be tough for them to actually do those and having to pay for the license fee.
Bodies, great bodies. It's basically trying to get the license to produce bodies. Getting the license for the body is not easy, and if you don't, you have arguments or you're being. I mean, we are trying to do our best to give you a great product.
Yeah, your audio is just very bad. We're catching one or two words as you speak, so it's really weird. Must be something weird with the Wi-Fi over there right now. So
maybe try sending them a new link.
Yeah.
Seems like the more people that jump on, the less we can hear them.
No, it's still bad. It's still very bad.
It's still bad.
It's like when he starts talking in a new sentence, it's loud, but then as soon as it keeps talking, uninterrupted and quieter.
It's very weird. Now there's a bunch of other people here. Maybe somebody has other questions.
Sorry, I just had a phone call.
Yeah, 1970 van. That's one thing I haven't seen a lot of is like the A-Team van from the A-Team.
Oh, that would be cool.
A van. That would be cool to actually see and do.
Scooby-Doo van? Your machine?
Honda machine.
Yeah. Midlife, he likes the vans. I know he got one built for him, so.
Lunchbox.
Yeah, I'd love to get a nice van myself, like a big, like 80s or 70s conversion van. Like a big,
You fit all sorts of electronics in there.
yeah,
Jet carpet.
just light up the inside, totally. Put a rug in it, sliding door on a couple of servos.
Put the little circle windows on the sides.
Yeah, man, now we're talking.
Bubble windows.
Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
Now, Ricky, your
Like
audio.
glitter paint.
The signal is terrible.
Yeah. One thing you could try, Ricky, is just hang up the call and click the link again. It's going to get you back in. Maybe your internet needs to be reset or something, or maybe your phone getting too hot. I don't know. No, I can't hear you in. I can't hear you. I just
Install a fan on your phone.
There he goes. So hopefully he's going to be back soon. Midlife is asking for a convertible bench to a bed. Oh yeah, at the back of the van you do a bench that converts into a bed. We used to call those shagging wagon.
A friend of mine said get the lunchbox.
That's a shag wag.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Shagging wagon. Oh, I like that. That's a good name for a rig, the shag wagon. Yes. How is everybody tonight?
Good.
I'm doing good.
Good to see y'all again, man.
Hello.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that-
that works. That
Oh,
works.
yeah.
I'll get back.
100%
Hey, there
better.
Here we go.
Hey, sorry about that.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
we get a very bad signal over here.
That's same here.
We're up at- Yeah, and also
Yeah, I
everybody
can
in the
tell.
office at the minute is using the internet as well. So when people upload stuff, obviously it's going to slow down the internet service and everything.
Yeah.
We know you didn't pay your cell phone.
Yeah.
So we were
I
talking
mean,
about bodies.
as we were saying before on the bodies, I mean, obviously the LC70 has done a whole new like ball game on how they actually manufacture things. I mean, it's got opening doors, it's got opening hoods, it's got full interior, it's got moving windows. I mean, there's not many rigs out there that actually. Sorry, keep getting phone call.
That is very cool, but it's the wrong continent.
It's sorry.
I said it's a very cool body, but it's the wrong continent.
Yeah.
Continent. Yeah.
We need it over here, man.
Does it have a tail?
It does have a tailgate. I mean, you can get a new. Sorry.
You can even get the
What
fit
am I
for it.
doing?
Hello? 2 seconds. I'll be back in a minute.
I hear you.
Back in a minute.
Okay.
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 Tank, what are you working on right
Me, my son this morning, I went with him to school.
That was weird. Is
Okay.
it safe to say we're having technical difficulties?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Rick, you're back?
Sorry. I keep getting phone calls at the minute.
You're getting phone calls.
now?
Yeah, you're 12 hours ahead of us. He's actually Friday, and it's actually 10:30 right now at where he is. Well, 10:43.
Yeah.
Like a time machine.
What? Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
so he hasn't talked yet.
Yeah, he's actually Friday in the morning where he is.
Yeah.
So he's Friday morning, 10:43 a.m.
Oh my God, that's too much for me to process at the moment. Let's just stick to the RC.
I come to the US last
Go
time.
back to petting your cat. But
Yeah, he's
All right,
actually
thanks, brother.
he's actually at work, talking on a video chat, talking about RC and actually getting paid for it.
Attaboy.
oh, that's cool.
I mean, RC is a hobby, and for me, it's also work.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. I'm glad. It's 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, I'm ready for bed.
All right.
So, any news on anything that's coming up soon, Ricky?
Yep.
Hints, tips.
Hints or tips that
Spoiler
what's coming out soon?
Hints and tips. Basically, we are moving towards the scale side, and a little hint is we are coming out with probably a rig very soon.
There's a lot of noise where you are.
I said we are probably going to be coming out with a new rig very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Something I heard. The only thing I heard is very soon, because it was kind of a dip in your voice. We did not hear whatever's coming out.
Yeah, he
very
said there
soon.
was a new rig coming out very soon.
Oh, a new rig.
Okay, Ricky, I want you to come for us. Just go
Cool.
grab that new rig and hold it up for us.
That's not possible because
Walk out the
it's
door at the same time.
it's in a very, very developing state at the minute, but it's going to be launched very soon. It's going to be a totally different, game-changing rig.
Oh, really?
A scale crawler?
You'll have to find out when it comes out.
I think it's going to be.
Oh,
It's either going to be a 6x6 or a 8x8. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is it going to be warm out when it drops?
Pardon?
Is it going to be warm out when it drops, or is it still going to be cold here?
Somewhere.
Is it going to be warm?
I'm trying to develop a timeline.
It's warm over here.
No, but when you. What's the timeline until
Yeah.
the
Oh, that's
release?
probably
A week, 2 weeks?
What the timeline is, I would probably think you'll be looking probably in about, I'll give it a rough estimate, probably 3 months or so.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, well. Summertime. Summertime.
Yeah, summertime.
Well, we heard it here
I don't
first.
know.
But I can't reveal
Exclusively.
it yet or talk about it too much because obviously that's still all in, still hush hush sort of thing. So it's going to
Right
be a totally different ball game, and there's going to be a lot of new products on that actual rig. So that's why that's why you see Boom Racing has slowed down a little bit in releasing a lot of things, because obviously we are fully concentrating on a lot of other things at the minute as well to produce obviously products for everybody to enjoy.
Cool.
That's amazing. That's great news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We won't tell anybody.
On the hold, we're not doing anything. We are working our hardest and fastest we can to produce obviously still quality, because nobody wants bad quality stuff. So we are working the hardest to keep the quality level up and in the scale and also performing.
Well, quality
that's the most
over
hard to
quantity is
do.
awesome.
What's the quality on there?
What's the quality on what?
No, I said the quality is better.
It's definitely going to be good. It's going to be
I
QC.
agree.
But wash.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
Okay, we won't say anything to anybody.
not at the minute. Stay tuned to what will be released in the near future. That's all I can say. It's going to be a totally different ball game, and it's going to be quite a amazing week.
Is it going to be a game changer?
Well, we hope it to be. There's obviously going to be a lot of things for this rig that you think it's going to be different from a lot of other things that are already out in the market.
Cool.
We are
Love to hear
trying our
that.
best.
Yeah,
We are trying our
we
best.
got Paul that just joined us. Asiatees, you should pick up Paul's line for tow ropes. He does the best tow ropes, and they're G6 certified. They're all intertwined within each other, and it's really cool what he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of
I mean, definitely have to work with him. I mean, try to get some of the products in. They always try to get new products in. Maybe it's worth like getting into contact and trying to get the tow rope. As everyone's saying, you do some great tow ropes. I mean, it's definitely probably worth having in our stock and us selling it for you as well. So we can always talk about something like that. So,
Paul, do you have any of those ropes that you can show him?
Yeah, let me go get some. I'll be right back.
Okay.
nice.
It's really cool because he
Way to
actually
go, Tank.
takes.
Just got here. Picking them up.
He does take a rope, a little tiny rope. It's small, and he actually takes it apart and actually makes a loop with it. But actually, there's nothing holding it. It's just the tension. The more you pull on it, the more it tightens itself. So it's really interesting because his rope, I had some. They worked awesome until I went over it with my lawnmower, and then they didn't work too much.
Yeah,
You need a scale on or
A scale lawnmower.
Scale lawnmower. Okay, we keep after that. We try to get a scale lawnmower.
Yeah,
I mean, we
remote
are trying to
control
bring
lawnmower would smell good.
a remote control lawnmower. You can get one of them ride-on lawnmowers and convert that into a remote control.
Right.
Then you
Sounds
got
like an accident waiting to happen.
I want a 1/10 scale one.
a 110 scale. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I made a 10.
That really cut.
I made a 10.
I need that lawnmower to really cut the grass.
I made a 10th scale camper that's actually motorized. So it's a camper trailer that's actually motorized. Kind of cool.
Oh, Tank.
That's quite cool.
Gotta go grab that. That's awesome.
Man, that roll haul recovery ropes. I want one of those stickers.
I'll
Look
put
at
Paul
that.
there, and he can talk a little bit. Paul, you're presenting to everybody. Go ahead.
These are just basically, this one's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. All the ends here are hand weaved. I basically bring the loop in, back up around. And I'm a pretty good sized guy. I go about 4'25", and I can actually stand on one of these ropes and have the loops hold me.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I make it with 550 paracord.
Nice.
And I interweave all the loops. And we have what we call Tower of Power here in Vermont. It's just basically climbing a 20, 30-foot snow pile. And we actually hooked this up to a Chevy and a Dodge. And we actually pulled the Dodge with dry weight and neutral. You know, I mean,
wow.
I guarantee him for life, you know. No matter what, the rope is got a lifetime guarantee. Any problems, ship it back. We'll send you a new one. You know, any color you want.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. It's definitely something we would be looking into because obviously it's a great product, as I can hear. So it's definitely something I need to mention to Jason because obviously if he wants to bring this in stock into our recipes. But it's definitely something, if it's a scale item, we are definitely interested because we are looking down the scale game and everything, going down the scale route and trying to bring in more cooler stuff as well. Variety and have a lot more innovative products and good products. That's the most important.
This is basically the only thing I work on, you know, and it's pretty much, I've covered the whole market here up in the New England area from New York through Maine down through Massachusetts, Connecticut with all the local guys that I know. You know, I don't really push them. It's just a hobby. Everything's hand weaved, you know, and I make them custom length. If you want an 18-inch, I make tree savers, you know, 6-inch scale. Everything is As a matter of fact, today I made up some lines, and I made up some zip lines for my little action figures to go from the winch of my truck, you know, from down a cliff.
What's your price today, mate?
Rappel.
Great idea.
What are your prices like?
I'm pretty reasonable. I usually charge like $8 and then shipping. Yeah, and then every once in a while, like I have a local dealer up here in New England, and to be honest with you, I sell them to him for like $350 a rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sells them for. I mean, I don't want to ruin anyone's market,
Right.
but he sells them for like $10. Yeah, so I tend.
With the effort you put into it.
You know, I tend not. Yeah, because each rope takes me probably about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
We make a order or something like that.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's worth paying it with that kind of guarantee, though.
Yep.
I mean, if you hook it up to your real truck,
what
and
an
you break it,
advertiser.
Yeah.
I
LL
mean-
Bean just gave their lifetime warranty. You still have one.
Yeah,
Way to-
that's awesome. Right on.
as long as I don't die, they're guaranteed.
And Paul, I'm getting
You should write that on the package. That's pretty good.
I'll put forward to Jason, and then if you send me your details, I'll try and get them for Jason and see what he thinks, and to bring us put it in. I mean, definitely something that sounds really good. I'll be probably interested in myself. I'll get one for my rig. Because I have a bit of everything in my hobby. Something like I got twist cars, I have crawlers, I have buggies, I have MR trucks, I have boats. Actually, I'm working on several different projects at the minute. Because I can't keep up.
Okay, but we don't want to see Paul's demo model on your truck. It's got to go to the
that'd be quite
head
cool.
of the company.
I got a video on my YouTube page of me actually being suspended in the backyard on it.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a great advertisement, man.
That's awesome.
That would be definitely awesome advertisement. I can use that on the picture when we sell it.
Well, I tried to get my wife to sit on a tree and swing on one, but she said no, she didn't trust my work.
At least get it on video for sure.
So, Ricky, here's my trailer that I actually built. So, it's got a sun module. It's got a very, it's really cool seeing it drive because you actually does that. But what's really cool is the front end and the way I've done the turning. So it's push-pull, but it's actually a landing gear.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a landing gear for the plane.
Yeah, I got the two tanks up front. And I also, at the back, have a lot of bumper stickers. And I even did a scale bumper. I got a bicycle that I put at the back. And it's just for fun. Because I saw, whoa, I'm knocking everything over. I saw somebody actually built this in real life. So a real one. So I wanted to make a 10 scale one. So it's pretty fun. It's funny to drive.
Have you named it yet, Tank?
Check out the video of it actually driving around in his house. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I can't wait till summer's here. I built it during the winter, so I really didn't drive it outside on grass, just on the snow. But it's so fun seeing it drive because it wobbles and things like that. So it's really neat. It's different.
Should have put a ski on the front of it.
That's a beautiful looking camper. I love it. Looks great.
Yeah, and this thing wheelies like really easy. Like it wheelies really easy. And somebody tells me, put more weight on the tongue. And I replied, I go, well, it was built to actually wheelie. All the weight is in the back. So that's how I build it. I build it so it's easy to wheelie. So it's funny. Yeah, no problem.
Wait a minute, Tank. So Ricky is actually at work right now?
Yes, he is at work right now.
Yeah, it's tomorrow morning for him.
Right. What department in Asiatees does he work in?
He does a little bit of everything. He's in marketing and a whole bunch of other stuff, but he helps out wherever he's required to be done.
So he's not actually a fabricator. He's just okay. I see.
No, he's not a fabricator, but he does speak to whoever is in charge to make sure that they do get things done.
No, right on. No, that's a valuable person.
Ready.
Yeah. He seems cool. Seems real cool. I wanted to ask him what his personal choice would be right now for any RTRs out there. Wonder if he actually goes with his own product.
Hello.
Okay. Well, you can ask him now. He's back.
Just to stir up a conversation.
So Jamin was asking, what's your favorite truck or recommendation for a ready-to-run truck?
Ready to
right
run.
now in the market.
Right now in the market.
Ready to run.
Personal choice.
Personal favorite. I really love my CFX.
No, your audio is real bad again. You might have to hang up and come back.
Hang up and come back.
Oh, right there, it came
better
back.
there for a second.
Yeah. Can you speak now before you leave? Okay.
Did anybody hear him?
Paul, somebody's asking for your YouTube channel in the description. Let me find it, and I can send that over there to him.
Hey, buddy. What you doing?
Hello?
Hello.
Better?
Yeah, you're back.
Can you hear me again?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. This is another like new little product that we did bring out. These are basically a DIY link set. Basically, you have your rods, your threaded lock rods.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
That's handy.
basically this shaft that's all threaded all the way through. These are M4s. Outer sleeve for it basically. That's hollow. And you cut this down to your length 1, and you literally just cut it, and then cut this obviously longer than you cut your sleeve, so you can thread in your ball ends, and then that just plugs out, like it just goes sleeve.
Does it come with ball ends?
Yes, it does come with ball ends. It comes with ball ends. The package looks like this. So you get your ball ends in there.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, you're in.
Yeah, five rods.
5 rods. Yeah, I got one of those. I actually I have one of those packs coming here for me to actually review and test out. So I can't wait to actually see them.
Yeah, I mean, they are a great product because you can make so many different things with these. I mean, we are trying to like encourage people to DIY a little bit things as well. Obviously, it gets you more involved into the hobby. If you buy everything straight out of the box, it's not like you literally just bolt on, and then it's a different part. But if you get more involved with it, you actually create yourself. You can say, yeah, I actually made those things myself. It just gives you a bit more involvement in the actual product, and then also for custom build for people like to build the custom rigs that you're looking for longer links that you cannot find on the market. These are a great way to make your links longer, or whatever wheelbase you wanted just to longer. These are great for it.
And the tubes for it are
Absolutely
black?
The tubes are black, and the rod is obviously just your steel all threaded rod. And these are M4 threads. So obviously, it's a lot thicker. And the ball ends that come with it are literally M4s as well. And you get obviously your little metal ball.
Okay.
Your metal ball.
Cool.
Are those stainless steel or steel?
No, these are just the steel ones.
Okay.
These are just the stainless steel ones. The stainless steel ones are a separate like add-on as well.
Yep.
Because obviously we try to keep the cost low as well for everybody, so it's affordable for everybody.
Sure.
If they start going into stainless steel, it's going to bring the price up, and then people will be like, "Ah, no, I'll just leave that." So we get you to buy that first. If you are happy with them and you want to upgrade it some more, you can upgrade it with some stainless steel balls. It gives you more upgrade options, basically.
Good to know.
And then obviously, yeah, that's why we have the stainless steel balls available separately.
Yeah.
And obviously, you get your rod ends, and then you just glue them on. And then that's the flush to it.
Wow, that's good.
No, those are all straight rod ends, but you sell the different angled rod ends and everything, obviously.
2 cells at different angles. You get 20 pieces in total inside here,
Oh wow.
and 18 of them are straight, and then 2 of them are a little bit hooked. They're like a sideways sweeping one, but that's for your front steering rods and stuff like that, so you get a bit more clearance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Yeah, and then also if you
let me show you.
bend these as well, bend these.
So let me show you where it is and what he's saying. So here's the. So you get some crooked one, and you get all the ball end that goes in there.
Okay, cool.
Like
So,
Team Raffy, right?
Round
That is Team Raffy.
rod, the sleeve that goes on top, and there's the 4mm rod.
What was the price there, Tank?
Price Canadian is $26.50 for 5 of them.
Nice. I like
Wow.
the tube. Looked like it was really thick. I like that.
Yeah,
Yes, they
I
are.
was looking at the
Be nice for
yeah.
like a tube roll cage or something if you could make it.
Yeah, I mean, make anything with these.
So
You can
there's
probably like
Tank, put it back on what that was, the picture of what it was installed on. I want to see what it looks like installed.
Okay. There's the rear
wow,
end.
it looks good. Nice.
And this should
I like
be,
that they're all black.
You can use it for the steering also. So you can cut different length for steering.
Nice. Oh, good stuff, man.
Here's
Yeah,
the
there it
picture
is.
of the front.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that, because you can even paint them and call your mom and black. Nice.
And the part number for this is TC/302352. And they're called Team Raffy Do-It-Yourself Aluminum Links Set.
Is that 2352?
302352.
Yep, thank you. Yeah. I should get some black, man.
So I'll be putting some links into the YouTube comment for people to actually see what it is. So I'm gonna help some guys.
Yeah, I mean, we did do a. Has any of you lot got STX 10-2?
3 of them.
3 of them. Yeah. Have you tried out a axle mounted servo mount?
No.
That's another one of our.
Good idea.
Axle mounted servo mount.
Yep.
It takes
For
points.
AR44.
Nice. You get that up in the chassis. Looks better.
Yeah,
yes,
keep it on the
It's
chassis.
rid of bumps here if you put it down on the axle.
Looks
It
more.
does. It makes it not so scale, but it improves the performance by it does improve the performance by a great deal. I mean, yes.
4-link also.
Yes, because you can change it to 4-link, as we have done here.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
4-link.
Yep.
And it's axle mounted, and you clear away the space at the front as well. The servo has room to go up.
Yeah, bring it up a little higher. Because the thumbnails
Is
are
that getting in the
hiding.
way of the suspension or anything?
Oh, nice. You don't have the brace in there in the way or anything. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Nice.
So it's just something out there for, I mean, if you've got three of these rigs, you can always convert one, try it out. I mean,
Yeah,
these servo mounts, I mean, it gives you a more precise steering without your pump steers and stuff like that you get sometimes when you have the panhard, or your sideways travel when the panhard moves up and down.
Right.
Yeah, more accurate, and I find you get a stronger steering, like more precise than you would have a chassis mounted servo. So that's another reason why we actually just come up with this, and a product that is ideally in mind for performance, not really scale. Because obviously scale, you want to tuck the servo back up into the chassis, so you want CMS. But for performance side, just pure performance, I think axle mounted servo is great for pure performance.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
interesting. Check that out.
Well, it
Does it make
simplifies
the steering more responsive?
It does make the steering more responsive because it's more of a direct push straight on the axle. Because the servo is not detached from the axle, so the movement that you get is literally straight from the servo. Basically, you don't get any of the sideways motion for when the servo moves or anything. So you get a more precise steering on the actual axle.
Right on. It's cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, and also it allows you to do settings as well.
I've seen some people are offering brass servo mounts and servo mount pegs.
Yeah.
Just to add a little bit of extra weight also.
Yeah, you can add back weights back onto the front end of this because some people, I mean, I moved the battery to the back, but you can still locate the battery at the front if you wanted to. But I just, for picture purpose, I just put it at the back. So people can see that we've done a axle mounted conversion on here.
I see.
Okay.
Because I do
dual steering.
weights at the front. Yeah, I mean, this part is just something I'll show you guys because not many people know about this yet. I mean, it's been on the website for a while, but not many people know that this is quite a good system. And they also work on your stop axles as well, but you have to drill 4 holes.
Oh yeah.
Got to drill 4 holes in the plastic case for that piece to actually be able to screw on. But if you already run the boom racing axles, they just bolt directly on.
Okay. I saw those
make
boom racing.
an axle clamp mount for them, so you don't have to drill holes into the body.
Clamp mount would be nice. Yep. Add a little extra weight also.
Yeah.
Really grim.
Yeah.
So,
And obviously,
Ricky, just before this, man was asking you if you could pick for yourself.
Yes, which rig would I pick?
Yeah,
no,
which
one? The problem I have with that question is I don't really have a lot of RTRs because all my rigs that I have are literally like custom builds or kit builds.
Yeah, but let's
one
just
off.
say you're buying one for a friend getting into the hobby. Which one would you buy?
That's why I asked the question. I was interested.
I mean, I would probably still sway towards a MST. I've had a stock MST and I think it performs really well. I mean, for the money that you can get, I mean, if you want to just something small, I would definitely just get a CFX-W. I mean, not W, CFX. Because you can get the CFX literally an RTR, out of the box with the body, everything ready to go. And it's just I wouldn't say a cheap rig, but it's value for money. I mean, there's another one that obviously the Red Cat Everest M7. That's quite a good rig as well.
What would you say about the 3 Racing?
The 3 Racing, that I cannot really answer because I haven't actually seen one myself. I haven't actually like played with one myself. I know they've come out with that rig, but I haven't actually personally like played with it or seen what the quality is like with one of them. I mean, I'm interested to see what it's like, because I don't really want to comment on something that I haven't actually played with or know a lot about, because obviously it's unfair, I find.
You guys carry that, don't you?
We appreciate that.
No, we don't carry the free racing one.
Appreciate it.
I mean, we do carry some of their stuff, but we can probably get one in stock, or if people request it. I mean, Asiatees is also a platform where people can ask us if we have this in stock. If we don't have it, we can always try look for the items, so you don't always have to say, "Oh, I can't find it on your website. You won't have it." It's
So
always
you
worth
guys
asking.
have ready to run kits?
Pardon?
You guys have ready to run kits? Because I'm looking at the website right now.
For
Which
what?
model number is it that's ready to run?
For the CFX.
Yeah.
Don't.
Because I can look here at model. There's a bunch of CFX. There's 10 of them.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, all these are ready to run.
All those are ready to run, and so you have the
Yeah, like the Unimog is.
Unimog, and there's another Toyota,
Yeah.
and you have a Bronco with the Bronco body.
Yeah. That's the NSC, right? Yeah, I like that. I always want to get one.
Let's see this one. What it looks like. Just want to see ESC motor. So that's an old Ford Bronco. That has no interior though, eh? No.
That's a nice clean setup.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I like the way it is.
It's got nice wheels.
It's small though. They're small.
Are they smaller than an SCX-10? The scale?
Yes, they are. They are like a PZ01.
They're like garage size.
Yeah.
What scale are they?
I don't actually have one here right now, but they are smaller. They're more like a short wheelbase rig, I would say. A short wheelbase SCX-10 size.
Okay.
Like a two-door Jeep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or D90.
Yeah, D90. I mean, I've done a blog actually about putting a D90 on the CFX. I'm trying to find it. I'm just trying to log into the Wi-Fi at the minute.
It's still 1/10 scale, right?
Yes, it's still 1/10 scale. I think the reason why they've done that, I mean, they've called the CFXW a 1/8 scale, and then the CFX a 1/10 scale. But really, in our world, the CFXW is actually a 1/10 scale, and the CFX is a smaller scale.
Okay.
But basically, I think that what they've done is, because when they first ever brought a crawler out, they brought out the CMX, and they use a lot of the Tamiya bodies, because Tamiya,
TPR1.
yeah, they do ever so slightly smaller scale bodies. So obviously they call that the 1/10 scale. So they kept the CFX and the CMX share a lot of parts together. And basically it's literally just the transfer case and the gearbox that is different from the CMX to the CFX.
Yeah, and basically here's the blog page. So when you go there, there's a blog tab, and there's a bunch of blogs that people have done. And you're one of them that makes the blogs?
Yes, I'm one of the people that writes these blogs. I mean, the last one I done was the LC71.
LC71. So there's a Team Rafi transmission. That's up on the corner. Who made this truck?
This is actually one of our what do you say? He's not one of our sponsors, but he works with us and helps with development on products and parts and things like that. He's a person that plays with a lot of RCs as well, and he actually has his own little all club sort of thing as well.
Now, are these wheels?
That'd be on YouTube.
Yeah, are these wheels available orange like that, or are those painted?
That's a tough little rig right there.
Actually, what I think, I don't know, I can't even see what they are. Let me just check quickly. They might actually, are they the 16-hole?
Hey, how can we plug in and get one of those recovery ropes, man?
This is the kit that actually comes that you buy.
Yeah, you don't get the bonnet scoop or the actual front bump, the bottom front bumper piece. He actually added them on to make that more of a like the Mustang truck sort of thing.
Yeah, well, as soon as I saw the Mustang, I liked it, but as soon as I saw that, I liked it way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, I'm tempted to build one of them trucks myself. They do look quite cool.
A really good idea, man.
Yep. There's some really nice pictures and blog about like the cockpit here of the Toyota LC70. That's really cool.
Yeah. Rick, you said you can get the windows so they roll up and roll down?
I haven't actually got the rig here with me. Jason took the rig to America. He's at Parker Fest. He's showing it off to everybody.
But you can actually get the doors so the windows will roll up and down. That's not just a one-off.
No. Basically, the LC70, the kit with basically the opening door kit comes with the window winding kit. So it's actually two separate kits. It's actually like, as I say, the LC70, they like bringing stuff out in like little kits. So obviously your front bonnet, your hood is one kit. So that's basically a separate part. So you get your hinges and your bonnet pop, hood pop, that's one piece. And then you get your door kit. The door kit allows you to open the doors and then also open and like wind the windows up and down. And then you get the interior piece. The interior piece obviously includes your lights for your dash and that, like all your dash unit and your seats and everything. But I will have to tell you, it does not come with the light. What's it? The light control box.
Oh,
you have to buy the light. Yeah, you have to buy the light control box yourself. It's actually available on our website as well. But I didn't use on my build that you see on the LC70 because there's actually two blocks on the LC70. There's a block on the LC70 body, how I built that, and then a block on the actual LC70 chassis that I built.
Maybe
so
you can do a little bonus sale where you have everything for the LC70, the interior and wiper blades and rolling up windows, and you have that as a box.
That's one combo set.
Yeah, combo.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done. It will be done probably, but the problem with the window wipers aren't out yet. They are coming. The problem with LC like killer body products is they bring stuff out in stages. So if you make one combo set, it's missing this still. So until everything is available completely, it's pointless making a combo set for it.
True.
So, because otherwise you make a combo set and it's still missing this, it's still missing that. So it's not a complete combo set.
Well, Ricky, I will sell you this welding set I'm making, but I will not give you the hoses or the welder or the rods yet.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So if we would want to make a kit, we would want to wait till everything is launched for this, like the wiper blades, the moving steering wheel with the servo. I mean, we're still waiting on them, so it's just little things that are still missing, but it is possible for us to bring a complete combo out for it once it's actually done and released.
Well, Ricky, with everything you've told me about the LC70, my wife is going to hate how much money I'm going to be spending on it.
Yeah, it's a little bit like well, I wouldn't say they're too expensive because the actual thought and the molds that you have to actually think about the manufacturers of making. I mean, to produce molds to make all these separate parts is not cheap.
Oh,
And
I do a lot of scratch building, but I mean,
yeah, I mean,
my wife says what's going on. I'm just gonna say, Ricky made me do it.
Blame it on Ricky.
Yeah, that's fine.
You gotta put a bumper.
But yeah, that's the enjoyment of this hobby. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's wasting money. It's something to basically for your pastime. It's something you enjoy doing. So, and it's an extension of your personality put into your rigs and everything. So I find it relaxes me as well when I'm building stuff and making these rigs. So
now we're talking. It's therapeutic, man. It shouldn't cost any money.
It's a mistress, and every mistress costs money.
Oh, Paul.
True indeed, my friend. True indeed, my friend.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm probably looking at my next build as probably one of these Comanche bodies because I do really like them. They look really cool. I like building rigs, but I get told off as well. Spending too much money on RC stuff because I got to buy stuff myself as well. So I don't get everything. I don't get things free. So I get to test a lot of things and try a lot of things, but I still have to buy things. So don't think that I'm working here and I get everything for free because I don't.
Like, I would hate having to play with all these new cool things and then not go home.
Yes, that's why I have so many.
You play with them, then you got to
pictures,
put them away.
Well,
And have to leave them there.
I'll say it this way. I mean, I work here, but most of my wage comes back into here. Right. I work for my hobby.
Right.
So it's actually fun, but yeah. And I mean, with the LC70, it's definitely a game changer in the scale market, I think, because of what you can actually do with it and the sheer detail that you get with it. With the, also, I forgot to say, obviously, I actually converted the light kit a little bit. I've actually done a little bit of DIY on it. So I don't like the light system that comes with the killer body one, but I prefer to have like available so you can turn the lights on and off at different stages and stuff like that. But I've actually got a OB1 system as well.
RC VHX22 is saying hi to everybody, and so is Chris Custom is saying hi to everybody. They're in the chat room chatting away. Those are old people that used to follow me many years ago, and they've been there ever since the start almost. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Hello.
What's up, fellas? We should get them in here.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you would ask or have questions for me?
Yeah, you need to test monkeys.
Because we're going to have to end this soon. We've already been here for 2 hours already. Time just flew fast.
Oh, wow.
I usually let these things run for 2 hours. And I promised Ricky's boss that I was going to keep him online for maybe a half hour to 3/4 of an hour. And we've been 2 hours now. So I think we passed.
That's fine. That's fine. That's no problem. I don't mind.
Yeah, you're getting paid.
Appreciate it.
I enjoy it. Have you got any ideas that you want to put forward to me so we can maybe work on stuff like that? Because I love hearing different people's ideas and we love to improve on obviously different products. I mean, I'll take any information that you can give me or let me know like what you think about.
Ricky?
Pardon?
Can I get your info from Tank?
Yes, you can get my information from Hank.
Cool.
Okay, I'll send you some info, a shout out about the rope as well.
Yeah, Paul, I've actually pasted your info on Ricky's Facebook, so Ricky has all your info, the links and all that you posted in this chat room. I posted that on his Facebook, so he'll have that.
Okay, I also have a friend who makes a frame. We call them the drag queens up here in Vermont. And it's just a low center of gravity frame that you just put together. I'll see if he's interested. Maybe I can get him to send one of those to you.
Yeah, I mean, we're always willing to like see new products, see different. We're not just all about these big manufacturers. We like to work with small manufacturers as well and help people expand on different products and stuff like that. So it's not all about big companies. We try to have a bit of everything and help everybody in this community. Because we think RC is all about having fun.
Oh, absolutely.
And enjoying the actual outplay.
Yeah, Chris Custom is asking a question which was asked a while ago. Does Asiatees plan to make vintage Chevy or Dodge hard bodies? In other words,
with the bodies, it's actually quite hard for us because we try to we want to come up with a body and everything, but it's getting manufacturers to go down that route to actually invest that amount of money to produce a body, because investing money to produce a body is not cheap. It's really expensive to actually manufacture bodies, especially how detailed bodies now are these days. And everybody is trying to do better than everybody else and everything. So obviously, we are trying to see if manufacturers are willing to work with us and create new bodies and bodies that are not out on the market at the minute, because I see a lot of people are wanting bodies that are not actually like your most common bodies. But the problem is when you start making these bodies, if you haven't got the market, say out of 100 people, only 5 people like this body, and you created 1,000 of these bodies, but you only sell 5. You've got to be really careful in what you actually manufacture, and otherwise you'd be sitting on 95 of these bodies and nobody's going to buy them, or the sale is really slow. And
the demand has to be there. So the more people ask for that type of body, and if they have a list of 1,000 people that want the body, well, there's a good chance out of that 1,000, maybe 500 people are actually going to buy it. Even though there's a demand for it, doesn't mean people are actually going to buy it.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's pointless 1 or 2 people to all the time. I want this body, I want that body, because in a manufacturer's point of view, you got to see it's not just making one mold for one body. It's going to be one mold, and it's going to be a mass production. It's not just going to be a small. If you want a little, literally just a one-off body for yourself, I mean, we can talk to companies that will do that for us, but it's not going to be cheap. That's the only other issue. We know a lot of other companies that will make stuff like that, but obviously it's down to the price.
Well, yeah, if you just look at getting a new 3D printed body, you're looking at, some people will put them out, but they'll be like $250 US.
Yep. I mean, we are actually bringing in some 3D printed stuff as well. So we do see a lot of the scale stuff nowadays is moving down that way, and people are actually 3D printing stuff and then selling them as well.
Cool.
We're actually bringing some bodies in as well, and some other scale accessories.
Nice.
That are actually 3D printed, and yeah, so we will be having some stuff as well. I mean, they aren't. I know we are getting a Hummer in. We are getting a hard body Hummer in.
A Hummer, okay. A hard body Hummer. Cool.
Be good for the TRX.
Which one? Hummer 2, Hummer 3, which body?
I don't actually know. I just know it's a Hummer. I haven't actually seen it myself yet. Yeah.
Now, do you guys have portal axles?
Pardon?
Do you have portal axles?
Portal axles?
Portals.
Portal.
P as in Peter, portal.
The portal axles, I mean, I'm using actually the CFXW portal axles at the minute myself.
Okay, but the one you have, I think the ones you have are not the same scale as the SCX10, I think. Or they're a little smaller, or What are those portal axles?
I mean, I actually have them here. These are the CFX.
CFX, yeah.
CFXW. These are CFXW ones. The 110 scale. I mean, 1/8 scale. Sorry, that's the 1/8 scale.
scale. Are those the same width as an SCX10 or wider?
2 seconds. I'll bring it up. ACX10.
Oh, no. Slightly wider.
Same.
Just a little bit.
Slightly. I would say about 5 mil wider both sides. That's max. But it also obviously depends on what offset wheels you're using as well on them, and the hex size. But I use the CFXW axles. I think they're great. They work really well.
Can you guys carry those?
Yes, we do carry those. We sell them separately, just single axles at a time. Because the front and rear axle are actually exactly the same axles. So you can actually convert this to 4-wheel steer like really easy as well.
Nice.
Is it just the axle housing, or is it a complete set? Like
a complete set.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's a complete set. I mean, if you buy the CFX ones, they come in a pair, but the CFXW ones, they come in a single packaging, like one axle at a time.
Okay.
So, yeah. And obviously, if you're going down a scale route, I mean, you probably prefer the CFX axles because they're a lot narrower than your CFXW axles.
Do you know what?
Actually, if you hang on a minute, I'll bring one in. I actually have some built up, actually.
Okay. Hank, you're looking for that right now, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, surprised.
I'll have to check those axles out.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The thing is, they call it 1/8 scale, but it's almost the same scale as the SCX10-2 axles, which are the same width. So they're a little bit wider, but you can play with an offset of a wheel, or there's ways to trick it a little bit, but 5 millimeter wider is not that much wider.
No, so, what was the ones he said that were narrower?
I can't remember.
Well, I was thinking for my 1/6 Jeep, because I got Wraith axles and they're a little too wide for it.
Yeah.
And the SCX are too narrow.
All right, so here we go. So these are your SCW axles. Yeah?
Okay.
And then these are your SCX10 axles.
Ricky, what's the gear down ratio in the Portal?
That's a good question, because I haven't actually counted the gears, so I can't tell you that.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to have to go on the website.
I don't know everything.
Answer it.
Yeah, I couldn't answer that one, sorry guys. I haven't actually counted it. I literally just, because when I built my rig up, it was actually really late, so I just literally got on with it and built it. So I didn't actually just sat there and like counted the teeth to see what the ratio would and calculate all the difference. But I can get the ratios for it because I think our graphic design guy, he actually sat down and actually counted it. So I might have to ask him. But they do reduce the gears because I think that the bigger gear, 2 smaller ones, and then a bigger gear again, and the same size gears. But I do know that these axles actually reduce down. I mean, here's the difference between the size difference between a CFX and a CFX axle.
Oh, wow.
That's
a lot shorter.
That's a big difference, yeah.
Yeah. I would say if you put one into the other, I think there's about inch difference.
Wow. So that's the CFX, that's much smaller.
Yeah, the smaller one, this one, is a CFX. And then this bigger one is a CFXW. And that has the portal with it. the water.
And that's servo mounted on the axle only?
Yes, this is servo mounted, but you can take it off. I mean, some people build their custom builds as well, and they use these to build their custom builds as well. And they take it off, and if they have a CMS, they will change it to CMS. Just have to figure out a way to put obviously the handheld bar onto this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can probably like get a ball end and then bend it slightly, just heat it up a little bit and bend an angle to maybe put it onto the actual where the suspension mount is. The suspension mount is a little bit different. It's facing this way, like your suspension slots in this way instead of being your normal just bolt onto the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks really laid out.
Yeah, I mean, the plastic that they use is actually really tough. It's actually a really, really strong plastic. I mean, I've had mine for a while now, basically since the CMX first came out, and I go out and I play quite often as well, and I've had nothing break on it. So it's also depending on how much you abuse your rigs, obviously. I mean, mine has been abused as well because I took mine out. Well, I actually used this rig to test out. We've done a G6 course, the event not long ago, and basically, I was setting up the course with my rig, and I left it there, set up, and then I had to go and do some other work around the corner. I went and did that, and I come back, and somebody has taken my rig without my permission and totally trashed it.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was a lot nicer looking.
You can sell car alarms for your phone.
Yeah, I know. We need car alarms.
Yeah.
But it was a bit of my fault. But I was setting up a course and I was a bit stressed at the time. I was creating fun stuff for people to play, and then I got my own car basically destroyed by people. But I don't know who. That person never owned that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's I mean, I don't mind you playing with it, and I mean, these rigs are here to be played with. And,
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if you asked.
Exactly.
And drive it like you're in it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a fun event though.
Yeah. Cool. Well, guys, I'm gonna cut the live broadcast off, but we're gonna stay a little bit to chit chat, and maybe we can find out some hidden stuff that we can't share on the live broadcast. So
Yes.
these are the benefit of being on the live broadcast and chit chatting live. For you guys that are not live, like next time, get in there. But thanks for joining. Share this video. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time on RC Talk. Thanks you all for joining in live, and let's keep this chat going. Thanks.